Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, so last day of getting the guest bedroom ready, and I think we're really close. As I said in the last video, I kind of wanted to look at the paint, specifically the lines, between the crown molding and the wall, or the wall and the baseboards, one last time under natural light and see what they look like. And I'm kind of glad I did. I need to do one more coat because there's a little bit of white shining through here, a little bit more of it over here. I think this is just one more quick run around the bottom of the crown molding, and I think will look real good. See a little bit right there is a little light. Really couldn't see that in the light at night, but now that I got both the internal light and natural light coming through the window, you're beginning to see a couple of things that still need a little bit more work. So I'm going to go do one more coat around the crown molding here, and then we can start moving in. I won't even have to wait for that to dry because that's way up high and nothing's going to touch that. Yeah, one more lap around here did a lot of good. Now I don't see any white along the edges, so we are ready to start pulling stuff back in here, put this room back together. And I think we're going to start off with putting this thing in place, because remember how I had those funny little picture shelves that were hanging up here in this corner and a couple more in the other room? Well, they're here, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on the wall over the dresser. And so I got to get them spaced and centered correctly, and it's the best time to do that now while the dresser is out here in the middle of the room. So I'm going to start with that. But since we're essentially done painting in here, I'm going to actually unwrap this so I can actually get an accurate measurement between the top of this and the ceiling. So I'd originally planned on putting 4 of these things up. I was going to put one here and another one up here, but there just wasn't enough space between the shelves to put the pictures in there, and so I wasn't having room for the pictures. So I actually ended up having to pull one of the shelves off and patch up the holes. So, and then I raised it up to here. So we're gonna have 2 of them. Like I said, I don't know. I'll do something the other with you. Maybe I'll put them over the door or something like that. I don't know. But maybe 2 will be enough in here too. How many pictures do I really need to display, right? So I think the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put the face plates on all the receptacles and light switches. That'll just take a couple minutes, but that's got to happen before you can start moving stuff back in here anyway. So. And we'll probably also put the heat register back onto the vent. All right, so I got everything back on the walls. All the face plates are back on. I've rehung the hinges on the door, but I haven't actually brought the doors back in yet. I'm gonna actually leave the doors off until I get everything back in here. And of course, I still gotta paint over those patches that I made at the last second here, but that'll be something I can do just real quickly with a brush and don't have to really keep the whole room taped up the way it is to get that done. So I think the next thing to do now is let's pull the tape off, or let's pull the tape and the paper off the floor so that we can start moving stuff back into position. I think since I've probably done some drilling and some sanding and stuff like that, even when I get the paper off the floor, there's gonna be a little sweeping that needs to be done in here. So we'll get that all done and then we can move everything back into position. So we're starting to get things back in order now. I got all the stuff off the floor. Got the dresser back into its position. I'm going to kind of set up this little computer desk over here. Actually, you'll have to remind me sometime to open up the case on this computer and show you. This is a computer I built a number of years ago, and I had to bring it into the mechanic or to have some work done on it at one point. And when they pulled the cover off, they were completely amazed what I had done to the inside of this thing. It's got like 7 hard drives in it, and it's just bulked up in every way. Like I said, one of these days I'll have to open that up and show you that. But I'm gonna have this computer here, file cabinet over there. Trying to cut down a lot of the stuff that was just kind of stored in here. A lot of it may end up just going into the closet, and I think the closet's going to probably end up just being storage more than anything else, because since this is going to be a guest bedroom, nobody's going to really need to put their clothes in the closet. They're going to have the dresser here that they can put stuff in temporarily. So, I think that'll be fine, and we'll use that for storage and kind of stuff I don't need all the time. The closet in the guest bedroom in the house in California was kind of the same way. Just stuff I wanted to hold on to, but didn't necessarily need to have it out all the time. So let's keep going. I think the next thing to come in here is the bed. All right, bed's coming together nice. Almost got it all together. Just got to bring the box spring and the mattress in here. String up the electric blanket. I want to kind of get all that done before I, get the power all set up, because I could have power over here for the lamp and over here for the USB port on the bedside table and the 2 outlets for the electric blanket. So I kind of want to do that while I have the thing taken apart, because it's going to be a lot easier to string all that stuff under the bed if the bed isn't in here. All right, so we're pretty much done in here. Got the bed back together, everything's hooked up, ready to go. Got the pictures on the wall. Now I'm actually going to probably hang some photos and pictures and stuff like that on some of the blank walls. You remember all those artist conception drawings I showed you a while back of my dad, that I got from my dad when he worked on the stealth bomber? Well, they're going to go on here, probably on this wall here. I also inherited a couple of commemorative poster things he had hanging in his office that he got when he retired from Northrop, and so they aren't here yet. I didn't manage to get those home with me. They're at my mom's place in Sacramento, but at some point they're going to be here, and then those photos that I have will probably be hung on this wall, and I don't know, we'll do some other stuff in here too. I still got a few more Guided by Voices posters I need to hang up, so they may get hung up in here at some point, but I think this room is pretty much ready to go. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for now. Thank you to everyone who submitted color suggestions, and to those of you who voted, you voted good. I totally approve of the color you guys chose. It looks really nice in here. The room is a lot brighter, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So that is all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night. Big fat squirrel hanging out in the yard here. Doesn't quite know what to make of me here, because I'm not chasing it, but I'm clearly a threat because he's keeping his eye on me. But I don't know, he should appreciate the fact that I'm putting food out for him so he can become big and fat the way he is. But does he? Nah. So I've been kind of watching this a little bit too. The leaves are getting a little bit pummeled, I think probably because leaves from the trees are starting to fall on them and all that, and it's kind of starting to affect its ability to photosynthesize. But I do see big things like that in there. That's currently a little larger than a softball, so that's getting good. There's another one there, another one there, another one there. So yeah, whatever they are, I'm gonna have a bunch of them. Yeah, here's another one down here, I think too. That's just a little baby in there. Oh, and there's one kind of hanging on the edge there a little bit. They sure look like pumpkins, but they don't get big enough to do that. So, I don't know. One of these years we'll figure out what these things are. And I noticed the pool pillows all kind of navigated to one side of the pool here. So, I don't know, maybe it isn't just enough just to put them in there. I might have to actually tie them down and tie them into position so they stay where they're supposed to be. But as you can see, it's keeping all these leaves out of here, and that was actually the real priority here. The only real purpose for the pool pillows is just to, maybe help in channeling water if it rains. But, with all the leaves that have fallen, you'd think there'd be more in here. But I think what's been going on is it's been windy, and so the leaves just kind of sit on here, and then they get blown off. And so it's kind of a self-cleaning thing, which is, good. I don't have a problem with that. Anything I can do to cut down the amount of work in here is going to make it a lot easier to do that. So